Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Kate Magnetdale.
And I'm not Jane Aerith Magnetdale. And welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
That's us.
It's a podcast with two queer trans women. That's us, the wifey types. And we talk about media, what we've consumed in the week. How you doing?
Like that, really.
Like that, yeah?
Yeah, sort of unsure, but just a general sense of peril.
Yeah. My last couple of days have been a general, I got this. I got this now.
I got this to read now.
I got this to read now.
I got this massive legal document to read now.
It's been fun. But we've wedged some time into the experience of media.
I'd say we sandwiched some time in.
I don't know if I would say that. I don't know if any of the media was sandwich related that would make that pun work. But what have we been playing this week?
Well, we played a bunch more Nubby's Number Factory.
Yeah, both of us have been pretty in on this game.
You definitely more than I.
I've definitely fallen down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I had like 2 days of very intense, really into it, and then I hit a score of like 3.1 billion, and it got to a point like getting close to that where I was just like, oh yep, there's another level, there's another level. There's another level, nothing's really changing. I've run out of, like, slots to put things in. I've run out of, like, different kinds of power-ups I can get. The cafe doesn't have, like, every time I roll for rare food, I get rare food, and it's the same 2 items. And neither of them seem particularly worth it. So it's just like, well, I've got as much money as I can hold. I've got, I'm just going, and it's just a matter of time of, I'm just going to have one bad thing, and I did, and that's going to be over. And it was like, okay, I guess I've seen everything this has to offer. Like, I haven't done any of the challenges, but like that doesn't super appeal to me.
So this is where we've sort of differed on this game, is that I had that experience. I had like a 200 round game where I was up in the septillions of scores.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. I'm only going to go back into that mode if I just want the dopamine of number go up, and to find new way to make number go up. Yeah. I've largely been playing the challenges, and it's, once I worked out how to go, yeah, if I want to clear a run, that's easy, that's fine. I'm going to play under constraints, and I have completed, I think, 4 of the challenges. I'm working on my 5th at the moment. I'm having a lot of fun trying to understand this game's bonkers number mechanics and how to make use of them under limitations.
Well, the mechanic, you see, is number go up.
Number go up is the mechanic, yeah. So, ones, off the top of my head, the ones that I've completed on the challenges are, you don't get any rare items or perks. You can only ever have 1 item in your row of items, or everything gets disabled, so that you have to rely on the perks to sort of do your build. I'm currently doing all of the items in the shop, including, like, from the black market and from the cafe, are randomized loot boxes. They all cost 6 coins and you don't know what you're getting until you buy it. I did one that was you only have... you never regain additional lives, so you only have the starting set of lives and that's it. I think I completed one where at most you could only ever have 10 coins in your pocket, and you could never have more than one of that at one time.
Okay.
So, I'm really enjoying finding ways to thrive within the limitations, even if having put like 20 plus hours in, I'm like, yeah, the main mode, if I want to win, I'll win. It's just a matter of how satisfyingly will I make number go up.
Yeah.
Which, you sure can make number go up.
You sure can.
If you just want to hit I want 45 minutes of number go up, you can have 45 minutes of number go up.
Yeah, and I've seen the latest announcement on Steam. The devs talking about like a bunch of stuff that's going to be like changed, rebalanced, and updated. More will be added, like more items will be added to the shop, and I will probably come back to it around the update and see what do. But for now, I think I've had a good amount of fun out of it.
Nice. What else have you been playing this week in that case?
We played we played some more Sea of Thieves.
We did,
jumped in
yeah.
together and did some Sea of Thieves.
You invited me to play on stream a bit with you, and we
Yeah,
played some just over the weekend.
Yeah, we had Delta, we had Lauren, and you popped along later on, which is good because three of us were struggling a little bit to pilot a galleon on our own.
I apologise that I was
fine.
still running back from my previous engagement to come helm the ship with you.
It's fine. Like we were having a good time, and yeah, it was just like I am not used to a boat this fucking big, but like two decks of bailing out if something goes wrong, and obviously sitting lower in the water. Lots of things to think about with a galleon versus a brig or a sloop.
They steer from different place.
They do.
The anchor weighs at a different place.
Yep. Well, also, like, it weighs, like, considerably more, so you need multiple people to get the anchor up
Yep.
for a boat that big. Unless you want to spend a month doing it. But yeah, we had a really good time. We did, like, a whole bunch of exploration. I think that was about the time that put me just over enough gold to buy my own sloop.
Ooh.
So I ducked onto the high seas the other day and got myself my very own sloop. It's called the Rambunctious Penguin. If you see it, please do not sink. Yeah, I've done like probably about 3 hours on the high seas.
Yeah.
I've had an okay time for the most part of that. I've only encountered like one group of people who sunk me, and to be honest, I felt bad for them for having done so, because I had literally just sold everything I had before starting a new mission, and they sunk me for nothing. I didn't have a flag because I wasn't flying under a guild. I didn't have any treasure on board.
Mm-hmm.
They literally just trashed me for no reason. It's like, okay, sure, enjoy. If that's what you need to make yourself feel better, go for that. But yeah, had a good time, and I'm looking forward to playing some more. And we hung out together and played a little bit over the weekend.
Yeah.
Had some chill, safer seas times.
We did.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to at some point jumping into the bit where other people might shoot at us. Even if it, I got a little bit of trauma from that first attempt, but well, you've made it sound less scary to go into the big seas.
I do appreciate. I was watching a video the other day where they explained that if you dive to your next location, you will be moved to a different server. So there is a good way of getting away from people who, if they're being dickheads.
The issue being, if you've got treasure, you can't do that
That's
fast
true.
travel. So once you've got treasure, you could get griefed.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can only grief you for so long, because by then you go on to the next mission, and it's just like, okay, well, you've stolen all our treasure. Good for you.
Yeah.
Now we're buggering off to another server. I hope you enjoy all this time you will spend on your own because nobody likes you.
I suppose so.
You big meanies. But yeah, not had a bad time so far, and I think time of day will obviously play a lot into how good a time you have trying to sail high seas. But yeah, like everyone who's been diving into the stream has been saying, like, it's just a nicer time to just go and do high seas stuff and hang out. Like, you're still going to have to compete with the skeleton crews, and they can certainly put up a challenge. We've had our fair share of problems with Kellys.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like it's completely devoid of things to do and challenges. But it's less likely that challenge is going to be, like, deliberately malicious.
Exactly.
Yeah, so what else have you played?
It's not been a lot else that I can talk about this week. It's been a weird kind of week for stuff I've played. But we did play together some Dune Imperium Uprising Bloodlines expansion.
We did. The Bloodlines expansion has finally arrived in the UK.
Yeah, so this is the Dune board game that is like deck builder with worker placement-y stuff.
Yeah.
And the new expansion adds some special little soldiers that
Sardaukar warriors.
Yeah, you can spend money to recruit them, and they come with like a bonus ability when you recruit them.
And no matter how many of those warriors you've got, you will get the bonus you get from each one of them, and you can't have duplicates. The bonus you get from each one of them will all apply as long as you've got one Sardaukar warrior in a chosen fight.
So you can recruit multiple of these warriors to get multiple abilities, and then if you pay to put at least one warrior into a fight, all of the abilities pop off.
Yeah, which was great. I managed to get one that was giving me spice, and I can't remember what the other one was doing, but it's just like, if I'm going to put someone in anyway, I might as well get free spice, free other stuff out of it for just playing normally. But it's a good way. It was nice to just have a way of adding extra troops in, even because very often it can feel quite difficult if you're playing super politically to try and earn victory points through combat, because you're not necessarily thinking as much about adding more troops into the fight. But that is a huge way of getting extra points, so it's nice to have that extra option. And I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Very much enjoyed the Sardaukar warriors. Enjoyed the deep cover spies, the option of putting spies in a place that's already
got spies.
Got a spy on it,
yeah.
as long as it's not one of yours. We ended up going the whole game without one of us touching the Ixian technologies.
Yeah, there's a whole other board of things we could be interacting with that there was too many other new things, neither of us got around to it.
Yeah, it was, but I like that we didn't necessarily feel like we needed to dip into it, and I finally won a game! Woohoo!
Yeah!
But yeah, still very much enjoying Dune Imperium. I like that it is super crunchy, and it touches a lot of the things I like about a deck builder, and a lot of the things I like specifically about like worker placement things, but managing to be way crunchier than something like Clank.
Yeah.
And also, like, you're not building a huge deck. You're probably only going to have somewhere in the region of like 15 cards, depending on how you're playing, but like, you're probably not going to have like a huge handful of cards throughout the course of the game.
Indeed.
Yeah, very, very much enjoying that so far.
What about you? What else have you been playing this week?
We also played some more Final Girl Season 3.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, we ducked into the Falconwood Files.
Yeah.
This one is themed around Stranger Things, basically.
Yeah, you've got the legally distinct Upside Down, the topsy-turvy, or whatever they call it.
The mirror. The mirror. I think the mirror world.
The topsy-turvy. And yeah, the creature has to be fought in the Upside Down, and it keeps pulling victims into the Upside Down, and you have to use a special action to like go into the Upside Down, grab victims, and pull them back to regular reality.
Yes, like I like the way it manages to do things existing in an opposite version of the same place on the board. Yeah. I would be interested to see how that works with other locations. But within Falconwood, which is the location, so the killer comes with the whole upside down concept, the dimension hopping and pulling victims into the other world and swapping them for other world, mirror world victims. And then Falconwood itself comes with 5 missions, which are basically you're trying to like run around. The one we did, I think I guess the first mission, it does say randomize them and play them in any order, but we played the one that was, I guess, basically season 1 of Stranger Things.
Yes.
Your friend has gone missing. Find 3 things that will tell you, will triangulate a point on the board.
Yeah.
That will make the friend appear. Then go find that friend, revive them, and you, much like with the Razorface, the Pinhead analog, there was that whole thing of like you can't kill it until you've completed this mission.
Yeah,
like you have to. You can get everything but 1 health point off it. You can't. You can't completely kill it and finish the game until you have completed a particular mission to get rid of all your things. In this case, it was until you have completed the mission on the board to save your best friend, you are not able to kill the killer.
And that gave us a nice reward that did some really fucking cool damage to the enemy.
It did, yeah.
You managed to roll a crit on a d20 and, like, pretty much explode the final boss. Pretty well in one hit. It was great.
I think I got, like, 8 out of, like, 19 health off it. So
you did, like, a fucking massive... an impressively large hit.
Which is great, because I've been rolling like shit up until that point.
It was the one roll that needed to happen at the right time.
Yep. But yeah, and I appreciate that within a box, there's still 4 other missions that we haven't played that you could technically chain together as a campaign, and I guess see where all of that stuff goes. And I thought that was just another really impressive way of messing around with the Final Girl system.
Yeah. And then you've played one thing by yourself this week.
I did. I played a Ranger.
I've played this one. It's interesting, isn't it?
A little while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people playing it this week. I'm guessing it was in Steam
It's in Steam sale, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, tell us about a Ranger.
A Ranger is a game that is based on the concept of world wrapping. A thing that will happen in video games where, like, you fall off one side of the screen and you'll come back on another. In this, it's like, what if everything existed on tiles and you can push things along in front of you if they are in the same column or row as you. And it's lots of maneuvering yourself around to get things to move in certain places, and then finding like certain rows or columns are restricted in certain ways, so you have to find interesting ways of moving in order to reach your goals or to, like, move something to a certain place.
Yeah. Rows and columns frequently wrap around, so you're, like, say, going the wrong way off of a board to appear on the other side to get around an immovable barrier, or, like, trying to manipulate how the world moves by rotating it, by sort of sliding it with you.
Yeah, I like the fact that, like, when you first load it up, it says, do you want to start immediately with a step counter and a timer?
Mm-hmm.
They clearly have ideas for speedrunning. And you can see it in the way it's like, I could walk the 7 tiles down that way, or I could just walk 1 tile to the left, wrap around to the far end of that column, and then, like, press up to wrap to the bottom of that column, and then left again to zoom through all these different areas.
If you want to find ways to min-max the hell out of this game, you can, and the game will, like, recognize and record and monitor that, but also, there is nothing forcing you to be optimal.
No, but, like, you do realise quite quickly that there are ways of moving that are way quicker than just taking the obvious route.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying it so far. I've got outside of the starting area, and I've been to the first village, and I've dealt with the birds.
It's a neat little puzzle concept. Like, it's one of those... The core concept is very simple to understand, and they find lots of interesting ways to play around with it.
Roughly how long is it?
Oh, gosh, my sense of time is terrible. Let's ask how long to beat. Yeah, that seems about right. 6 hours, apparently.
Okay, yeah.
That sounds correct to me, having played it, but it was been a while, so I'm like, I can't tell you.
I feel like I'm chugging through that okay.
Yeah.
And it's nice because by virtue of the fact that everything only happens as you move, like, even fighting that first boss, you just have to sort of sit and calculate how you're going to maneuver around this thing.
Yeah.
And it's an entirely cerebral puzzle and not something that's just going to, like, explode just because you didn't react fast enough.
Exactly.
Which is someone with terrible reactions I really appreciate. That's everything I've played.
Well then, time for this.
Now, I think you'll see that my client here, Mittens, has done absolutely nothing wrong. Provably absolutely nothing wrong.
Meow.
Exactly. The defense rests.
Well, as much as the court has heard this sort of fanciful tale of events, I think it is important that we enter one additional piece of evidence into the court record. May the court pull forward the sofa. I think you will find hundreds of balls, toys, crinkly things, and a number of fluffy slippers. The prosecution rests.
Order! This court has no choice but to find Mittens completely guilty on all charges. All of these fluffy slippers must be returned to their owners, and I expect to still find all of those cat toys within a week, rather than having immediately lost them back under the server again. Hey, Laura.
Yes?
Are you suddenly finding that the outside weather looks very appealing?
Oh, it does look very appealing.
Are you also one of them people what does work?
I am, yeah.
You do work? You have a job?
I do have a job.
Do you sit near a window?
I do. I sit looking out at all the sunshine.
Look out at all the sunshine. Do you go out in the sunshine?
Well, occasionally, but it's a lot of faff. My office in out there. It's hard to do work without my office.
What if your office was out there?
Oh, tell me more.
This week's sponsor is outdooroffice.lol.net. It's a park full of cubicles, like in an office, but with no roof.
Oh, so there's like grass between my toes,
Grass
and
between
sun
your toes.
above me, and
Yeah, ants stealing your sandwich.
yeah.
Like just all marching off, and you watch your sandwich just slowly marching away, like in the cartoons.
So I've got I can have my Wi-Fi and my power outlets and my table.
Yeah, you can have a public Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that doesn't seem the safest idea for work, where
I mean,
maybe...
it depends what your job is, but like as long as you don't have to keep any important corporate secrets, come on down to outdooroffice.lol.net, enter the code Q&PS freedom.gdpr, and you can get 15% off your first, possibly dangerous, outdoor office experience.
I'm sure it'll be private enough. Oh god, someone peeked over my cubicle and saw what I was doing for work. That's secrets!
Well, I guess we burn everything. So, what have you put in your eyes?
Well, I put a film in my eyes this week called The People's Joker. This sure is a film. When I say it like that, it probably sounds like I don't think it's good. No, I think it's fantastic. This is a trans film that is a Batman parody that almost got shut down by Warner Brothers at one point. It was originally only allowed to have one screening once ever, and then they fought back and forth, and now it's allowed to be out there. But it is a parody of the Batman stories, in which basically it is a trans story about a Joker who would like to be a Harley Quinn, but still be able to tell jokes and not be wedged to the back into restrictive gender roles, having a romance with a trans man version of the Joker, but specifically that one with damage written on his forehead. It is a chaotic mixed media comedy about coming to age as a trans person, early relationships with other trans people, wrestling with shaving parts of yourself off for cis palatability. It is a really interesting counterpoint to a trans film like I Saw the TV Glow, in that both of them are fundamentally trans stories from the perspective of people who used TV as a form of escapism. But where I Saw the TV Glow is this sort of like slower, contemplative take on what if I used that escapism as an excuse to not transition, and the slow dawning terror of, oh god, did I make a mistake by not doing it? This is the what if comedy on TV gave me a sense of, oh, this gives me the confidence to, oh, it's just a joke my way into identity.
Hi, the Halloween theory
a little bit. And it is this chaotic, it uses a whole bunch of different art styles throughout it. It feels very cobbled together in the way that like a good zine does, where it feels like you threw a bunch of artists in and went, who can do this, who can do that? Okay, we'll jumble it all together and make a thing out of it. It is a trans film that is not afraid to have content that will not be explained to cis audiences, which I very much appreciate. It is the kind of trans film where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about girls with dicks, and like, you know, that's just very casually going to come up.
As it should.
As it should. But yeah, it is a fantastic film that wrestles with a lot of very real stuff about how much Are you willing to put yourselves into a specific box to be palatable as you come out? And a warning tale of sorts about don't stay in bad relationships just because you feel like you owe your partner not to leave because they were with you while you transitioned, and it would be in some way betraying them if you left now. Very weirdly relatable material, that, huh?
Not to me, but I know that was a you thing.
a little bit of that. But yeah, the People's Joker, very fun, very recommended piece of trans art that I would recommend to trans people. Not to say cis people can't get anything out of it, but specifically,
it's much harder to recommend.
It's honestly, I think it is more forgiving in some ways of cis people than something like I Saw the TV Glow. It is understanding of the cis perspective, but not willing to slow down and explain the trans perspective.
Right.
And I think there is some value in cis audiences seeing it, but it is made for trans audiences.
Excellent.
It is fun as hell. It's a great film. What about you? What are you putting your eyes this week?
We went and saw Mickey 17. You again, me for the first time.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it a second time.
Yeah, did you get anything different out of it the second time?
There was some interesting foreshadowing. I appreciated more knowing where it was going, but yeah. What did you make of Mickey 17?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well shot. I think that Robert Pattinson is still doing a really good job of being willing to just do wild fucking scripts, and I'm always glad of a big name actor who's willing to do something a bit weird.
Yeah, bit artsy.
Yeah. I haven't seen Parasite, but it clearly had a lot to say about lots of things.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo's teeth were just, I couldn't stop staring at those
He sure does seem like a very direct take on Trump escalating into full-on Nazi.
It's the constantly pursed lips, the Christofascism, the planet that's going to be a perfect white planet.
Yeah, because it's covered in snow, of course.
Yes,
that's what he means, of course. It's perfect white planet. Yes, all of his followers,
much more able person standing behind him that is actually there on behalf of the church.
All of his supporters wearing red hats and at one point doing synchronized one finger pointed but arm up salutes with one hand. Just like a hair's breadth away.
Yeah, and as I've seen a few creators point out, a black lead who isn't treated as disposable girlfriends. In any way,
their romance is so good.
It really is. She loves every version of him.
Yeah,
the version who's a bit murdery. The version who's kind of a goof.
Yeah, it's very much the thing I love about her as a character is that she is 100% she understands his unique situation as someone who's going to die and keep coming back, and that he might be a little different sometimes. And she's gone into that relationship with a mindset of, I am truly and honestly willing to roll with the punches of whatever this means. Yeah. You're gonna be different people different days, and I'm okay with that.
I mean, I think that's true of relationships in general. You are just gonna be different people different days.
Yeah, so, some days you might be a little angrier, some days a little goofier, some days there might be two of you, and she's just ready to go, well,
threesome.
Yeah, threesome. This is the dream, right?
Right.
She's wonderful.
And I love that she points out, hey, if there was two of me, you'd be fucking hyped.
Yeah. It's also just Robert Pattinson does such a good job of playing multiple slightly different versions of himself.
Yeah.
I always appreciate an actor who can pull off, it's very obvious which of the yous you are right now.
Yeah, and I think we talked a little bit about this. If you ever wanted to make a film that captured a lot of the essence of Red Dwarf, certainly the book, the first book, it really fits into that vibe of kind of a down and out person taking a shitty job on a spaceship, ending up in an even shittier situation. And just the griminess and grimness of actually like life on a long-distance spaceship. Like all the recycled air and water and food and people. Or person, at least. But, like, yeah, it's a really fascinating story, really well told, and, I would look forward to anything else that writers come up with.
Yeah. Other things I watched this week, I went and saw a film called Opus that I thought was quite good.
This is the new, John Malkovich.
Yeah, John Malkovich is in it. So it was recommended in the vein of being a film kind of like the Menu, and it definitely earns that kind of comparison. The gist of it is John Malkovich plays a musician who was like the world's most famous musician in the 80s and 90s, like absolute success after success after success, every album back-to-back bangers, and then vanishes for 20 years. And then he's coming back, and he's announced like he's doing a special one-off preview performance of his album for a bunch of press and PR and influencers and whatnot on his sort of private compound out in the middle of nowhere. And our main cast of characters is people like there's a paparazzi, there's an influencer, there's some sort of old guard music reviewers, there's a like very new to the business music reviewer who turn up at his place, and like it's got real cult vibes right from the off.
Yeah.
And everything about this place it's got real vibes of you would only say yes to any of this because he's famous. It's the like one of the things that came up in the trailer I'll give as an example is at one point they're all told, yeah, you're expected to have your pubic hair shaved before going to this performance. No, there's no chance he's going to see it, but he has requested that this be the case. It's just a thing that he asks of everyone. And you'd never normally... That's a gross overstep of boundaries, but also... I mean, I'm here and the opportunity's here, and, like, it's not, like, going to do me any harm to do that. It's weird, but whatever. It's very much the escalating... What can a celebrity who knows that you want access to what they're giving get away with? And the escalation of the very literal cult of celebrity.
Yeah.
I had my assumptions about where it was ending. Like, I'm just gonna say, I won't say where it goes, I will say I assumed it was gonna be I'm murdering you all and this is the album.
That is very much what the trailer implies.
Yeah, and that's not what it is. There is an album. It does not... The album itself is not you all getting murdered. But I was surprised at where it went. And I thought it was an interesting... I think the film leading up to it justifies what that turn ends up being.
Right.
Yeah, it was an interesting story. It was well worth my time to see, I think.
Yay.
What about you? What else have you seen this week?
We went and saw Blue Velvet.
Yeah, we continued our watch-along of all of the Lynch movies.
Yeah.
How would you describe Blue Velvet?
A lot.
Yeah.
So this is, I believe, Carl McLaughlin's debut acting role.
I believe you might be right.
He's so young.
He's so young.
He's so small.
Little babyface Carl McLaughlin.
He's so baby. And we saw Isabella Rossellini again, who was in Wild at Heart.
Yep.
Who is playing a woman whose husband and child have been kidnapped by a very dangerous gangster.
Yep.
And young Carl McLaughlin has really got, like, junior detective energy and vibes and desires. He and sure does do some really ridiculous things.
Some very ill-advised things.
Very ill-advised things.
He stumbles upon an ear in a field.
Yes.
And then gets fascinated with the idea of solving the case and involves himself far more than he should have done in the case, to the point of, it is a miracle this did not go worse than it did.
Indeed.
And it is just a constant tale of, if you're 17, you probably shouldn't go and think, I could probably solve this murder. I could probably do this. I don't need any of the adults involved. I've got this.
What can the cops do that a teenager, can't?
A lot. A lot. There's a lot of this that would have gone way smoother if you'd just not.
Probably.
Yeah.
And again, like, I feel like we talked about this with Elephant Man. Like, it was like the first Lynch thing we'd seen that really felt like a straight A to Z story.
This feels very. What if you did do a Twin Peaks where you solved the mystery quite quickly? It's a bit of a one of those.
Like there isn't a lot of mystery in it. It's just what the fuck is going to happen next.
Yeah, it is. It is the journey to the answer you know is sort of coming. But
yeah, you are along for a dangerous, terrifying ride in which Carl McLachlan may or may not survive this terrifying gangster and his posse. And Dennis Hopper plays an incredible role in this of just the most unhinged human being.
Yeah. It's there is. I'll say this for anyone who hasn't seen it. There is some intense sexual content in the film. I think that's a way to put it.
Yes.
I do think certain aspects of it are handled pretty well in terms of things like Carl McLachlan struggling the morning after with was a thing I did okay to do and struggling with the emotions of that.
It had real Dom's first time really should have had some aftercare for himself.
Yeah,
as well as a son.
I know you asked me to, but is it okay that I did so when you asked?
Yes, and now I feel bad because I've broken all of the things that I have knew to be correct and right about things. I broke that, and I need someone to tell me that I'm still okay.
Yeah, there's things like representations of the cycle of how abuse can sort of perpetrate, and how if you are in an abusive situation and that's the only way you are being shown love, it can sort of warp how you view love being shown. Mm-hmm. You know, there's stuff like that I think is handled well in the context of this is a heavy watch in terms of some of those sexual themes.
Yeah. I think this would be, again, not necessarily an easy recommend, but like a fascinating film. I can see why it earned a cult status.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that isn't just because of various bottoms. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I look forward to the continuing watching all of the Lynch we can find.
Yeah.
I feel like there's only a few of the major films left.
We got Mulholland Drive left.
Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what we'd be missing off
outside of Fire Walk with Me, that's almost all of them at this point.
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, we both watched that together. Have I watched anything? I've not watched anything else myself. Have you watched anything else?
No, we're still watching Severance, but it's best we just don't talk about it.
Maybe
it's incredible.
Maybe there's a week where Arc Whoops is just we do a spoiler chat about all of season 2.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Well then,
time for this. Inside the boardroom of Supremacy Software.
Hi. So, the voice actors are still striking.
I mean, to be honest, it's been going on so long I'd kind of forgotten. It's not like I've looked into it or done anything to change that.
Well, no, but the departments downstairs keep being like, we need voice actors, sign the interim agreement, we need voice actors. And we're not signing the thing, because that means we can't use AI, and we want to use AI.
We do not negotiate with terrorists.
Exactly. So I got a plan.
Yeah.
I got a plan to get us through this.
Yeah.
Do you think we could just do all the voices ourselves? Like, would anyone notice?
I mean, maybe not. Well, I mean, that does sound like work.
Well, yeah, but how work could it be? Like, let me grab the script. Hello, I'm soldier number 1. I shoot you with my gun. Hey, soldier number 2.
Hey, I sure do love killing.
Oh, there's a female nurse over there. Are you safe? Yeah, I'm safe. See, absolute natural voice talents.
Yeah. I mean, you really captured.
Yeah.
That whole role.
Right.
Yeah.
I reckon we could get it knocked out in half an hour, an hour at most.
Right.
And done.
Right, yeah, no
Yeah,
rejects.
what do we need them for? What do we need fucking voice actors for?
I mean, they keep the pavement clean because they keep walking up and down it with their banners.
Well, how's about this? Maybe we have a little what's in my pocket and see if we can get through it even faster.
You are a chuffing genius.
I know. Yeah, 15 minutes.
Has everyone around you started talking about something that you've never heard of before?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you should really know what's going on, but you're kind of lost?
I'm not sure if it's a thing.
Do you think maybe it's a joke? It could be a joke, but you're really unsure because no one's actually specifically said.
I feel like it's a joke, and I should know that, but who can say for sure?
Joke tag! If you're autistic and people online are suddenly talking about a thing, joke tag! Scan it, and it'll tell you all the details so you can feel in on the joke.
Ah, that thing that I definitely would have encountered if it were real isn't real. Thanks, joke tag.
No problem, Laura. Joke tag! Try today. Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Social justice warriors.
Social justice warriors?
Yeah.
Right, Larry. How you doing?
Oh, the sun's out. I'm enjoying seeing the sun more.
The sun is helping infinitely with recharging me cells.
Yeah. You doing alright, mate?
Doing alright. Just trying to get back into having a routine again after, the dark winter time sort of slowing my routine down a bit.
Well, I imagine it's going to be a little bit difficult in, a week or so as the clocks change over here as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I'm enjoying the last of my body knows when I'm at.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about a thing this week, as you do. I was thinking about expectations of repeatability of things, particularly for disabled people, because one of the things that often comes up when talking about like limitations disabled people might have is the idea of, can you literally do the thing? So, could you go on a one-off occasion, go to a place, work an 8-hour shift doing whatever kind of job and get home and technically have done that thing?
Maybe. One day. Maybe. But that might not be, that will then mean that for the next month I will be completely unable to do anything.
Indeed. But, someone might look at that from the outside and go...
Are you talking about pip possessors?
I mean, pip possessors is sure one category of this, yeah. It's I witnessed you do the thing, so you are capable of doing the thing. So it is wrong.
Now do it always.
It is incorrect for you to say you can't do the thing. Therefore, do the thing sustainably, consistently, day after day. And it's like, no,
that's not how that works.
No, so someone doing a thing once in isolation, might have, you'd be using up a deficit of energy and focus. They might be enduring pain to do so. If they are forced to, they can do it, but to do it reliably, repeatedly, would cause long-term major problems.
Yeah, and I need to say, you might be able to do it one time in an emergency. Like, I'm not going to name any names, and also this was, over nearly 20 years ago. But, I was at a gig where a disabled person in a wheelchair had been booked to appear in a venue upstairs, up a flight of stairs, and no one had considered it. And they were like, look, I can get up these stairs.
Yeah.
Firstly, you shouldn't have done this, and I'll be speaking to the person who books these gigs.
Yeah.
But also don't tell my pip assessor.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's the, maybe someone's a wheelchair user and there's no one around to help them get a thing off a shelf in a supermarket. Yeah, it's gonna fucking hurt my legs for the next, 8 hours, but I can get up there and get it.
Yeah.
But, pip assessors really is one of those examples of someone snaps a picture and goes, I saw someone get out of their wheelchair,
Yeah. And it doesn't help that you've got these dickheads that will go, well, I saw that person park in a disabled bay and then they got out and walked. Surely you have to be in a wheelchair, or you have to be this or that or the other. You have to be a certain age to be, in need of a disabled badge.
Yeah. It's just frustrating watching people not get that. A person's ability to do a thing in an isolated case does not indicate their ability to on a repeated, reliable, ongoing basis do that thing necessarily.
Yeah, just because you saw someone leave their car looking alright doesn't mean to say that by the time they are due to come back to their car, they won't have, depleted all of their energy.
Exactly.
Oh, fancy hug, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. Good hug, mate. Good hug. Right, I think I'll go and pop the kettle on.
Oh, sounds lovely.
Nice. So, Laura,
Yes.
you do things on the internet.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Where do people find the things?
People can find the things at Laura K. Buzz pretty much everywhere on the internet. Laura K. Buzz on Blue Sky, Patreon, that's the one that pays the bills, YouTube. By the time you hear this, the 5th episode of Abletop will be up, which, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember what that one was about. It might have been communication? It might have been episode 5? Who can say? Episode 5 of Abletop will be up. Episode 6 is next week. That'll be the last one. Just check out Laura K. Buzz. You'll find all the stuff I'm up to.
Yeah.
What about you? Where are you at on the internet?
I don't have unified branding, but I do have a Linktree. It's linktree.ee/Janiac, Janiac. You can find all the things I've done, all of them, every single one of them, including when I tripped over earlier. No, that's not on there, joke. Yeah, you can find all of them at patreon.com/StonedMonkeyRadio. As little as $1 a month will really help me out. And, yeah, that's everything for me. So, Laura,
Yes?
will you sing us out, please, darling?
Until next time, be a stranger.